Hello, my friends. Today we've got a fun topic. We're going to talk today about how to live stress-free. Stress-free, my friends, as an over-the-road truck driver. And believe me, you have to trust me on this one. This is coming from the most well-adjusted, perfectly normal, completely stable adult in all of YouTube trucking. Just kidding. If you're new here, you might find that I'm kind of a lunatic. And if you're not new here, that's why you keep coming back. But we can work with this. We can talk a little bit about how to be stress-free as a truck driver, because you know what? Those are important things we need to know. You know how hard it is to be stress-free as an over-the-road truck driver? Well, in my observation, apparently as hard as it is for a Crete driver to maintain a steady speed while running across the state of Nebraska. And what I mean by that is fucking impossible, apparently, because I don't know what the hell Crete's doing. Has anyone else noticed this, or am I just acting crazy again? Every time you go to pass a Crete truck, right when you got enough space so you can move back over in front of them, suddenly their truck isn't governed anymore, and they can just pace you for the rest of the day. What are they teaching them over at Crete? I'm sorry I had to do that, because I don't know what happened to Prime Inc. I was making fun of Prime Inc. for 6 years. Without fail, their drivers would run to my videos and they would get angry, and then I could make more Prime Inc. videos, and then they stopped doing that. Company-wide memo, something. So I figured maybe I'll pick on Crete a little bit, and maybe Crete can keep me occupied for the next 6 years. Crete, don't let me down. Come here and whine in my comments about how I made fun of you. So far, all I got on you is you guys don't know how to maintain a consistent speed, but I'll make up some more shit about you later as we go. Anyways, we got stuff to talk about, but I gotta thank people. I didn't do my thanks for the super thanks on the last video, because the last video was the review of my new company Trekker, and for some reason in my brain it didn't seem like the right time. I wanted that to be more to the point instead of completely my crazy ramblings, so I wanted to skip all that. So I got people to thank this video for the super thanks over the last couple videos. So first we've got Cameron, I'm sorry, I keep saying your name wrong. Right as I went to say Cameron, I felt a chunk of something in my mouth. This is really gross, isn't it? Like something from lunch earlier. Yeah, this channel's disgusting. I don't know what happened, but I was trying to say Cameron at the same time. I wish I would start editing my videos, because this nonsense wouldn't be in them anymore. Cameron, though, with $5. Thank you, Cameron. Sterleezy with $5. Thank you, Sterleezy. And we've got Beulah Boy with $10. And we've got Rob D with another $10. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support, helping support my humble little channel here. And I want to thank everybody that comments, subscribes, likes the videos, everything you guys do, watches the videos. That's part of it too. Thank you guys so much. We're almost there. We are almost to that 10,000 subscriber mark. We need just over 500 people. 500? That's nothing. We can get 500. We can definitely get 500. So if it's your first time watching, or if you for some reason forgot to push subscribe, push the fucking button so I can stop asking people to subscribe for a while. Thank you. I appreciate you. Something I was thinking about, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. You guys know that I have the channel memberships. They're only $1.99 a month. I'm not trying to sell them to you right now, but maybe I'll try to sell them to you in the future. I don't fucking know. But they're only $1.99 a month, and the channel members don't get anything. It's just out of the kindness of their heart. And I was talking a little bit about this on a live stream last night. Yeah, last night was the live stream. Yeah, it sure was. The days get confusing sometimes. But I was thinking maybe I will start doing like Saturday videos. Maybe not every Saturday, but a couple Saturdays of the month, 3 Saturdays out of the month, random Saturdays. And these videos would just be for the channel members. Now, it's not taking away any videos that I already do, or any live streams or anything. It's just adding in something for the people that pay for a channel membership. And the topics probably wouldn't be trucking. Maybe you guys would help me out with topics, the channel members. Maybe you asked me a question, I don't know, some wild thing about, I don't know, I don't want to go too crazy, but we can go crazy when we make those videos. But you ask me, Josh, tell us about the story about how you dropped out of high school. You can tell by looking at me, I'm a high school dropout, and maybe I tell that story, right? And then you guys ask, maybe come up with questions, like, and I could tell you stories, or what's your opinion on this thing? And I could do it on those videos. And the reason I'm asking you guys to talk to me in the comments, don't worry, we're getting to the stress-free part of our lives here in a minute. We got to get all the gross stuff out of the way first. The reason I'm asking is, I'm sure the people that are already channel members would be interested in that. Sure, they'll watch them. They're already paying for a membership. Would that be something that's interesting to a lot of viewers? $1.99 a month, and I throw in these extra videos, or is it just a waste of everyone's time? Does anyone give a fuck? Let me know if that entices you, if that interests you even a little bit. Then I can kind of start to formulate that opinion. I'm probably not going to start doing that till after we pass this 10,000 subs, but let me know what you think. So what are we talking about today? Oh yeah, stress-free life as an over-the-road trucker. That's a fucking fantasy now, isn't it? But there actually is a kind of a point to what I'm gonna say, because I have found a way. You might not be able to tell from my videos, but there's things that I struggle with. I'm not going to do anything to relieve my stress. You know why? You know why? Because my stress is what makes the videos. My flying off the fucking handle every time something mildly inconveniences me on the road is where the videos come from. But there are things that I've learned over my 10-year career of trucking, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit, sort of the things that I've learned. But being stress-free as a trucker, isn't that quite the concept? Isn't that an interesting thing? We're all looking for that, aren't we? It's a stressful job, man. It really, really fucking is. Here's what happens in trucking for anyone that's not a trucker. The shit all rolls downhill. You know who's downhill? Us dumb motherfuckers, us dumb bastards that are driving the truck. We are downhill from everyone, everything. The whole logistics system is all held up by the truck driver, like supported, I mean. Well, held up sometimes because some of y'all are in my fucking way, but that's not what I meant. But I meant like supported by the truck driver, right? So with that said, every time something goes wrong, somebody wants to know what the fuck the truck driver did to cause this to happen, because there's a lot of passing the buck or kicking the can down the road, or whatever terminology you want to use, because no office professional ever wants to take the blame for what's going on when something goes wrong in trucking, right? We might as well just blame that dumb fucking hick we put out there in the truck, and it's all his fault, and we'll just blame him every time something happens, right? That's kind of how trucking works, isn't it? You guys won't believe what I just did. Like, it's nothing too crazy, but I'm such a weirdo. My ELD turned off. I don't know if you guys could see me just like side-eyeing it for like the last 3 minutes. Like, why is that fucking thing turned off? And it was bothering me so much that I had to stop the video and go over and investigate, and I just had to push the button, and it's back on now, and everything's right in the world. That was driving me fucking nuts, man. It was driving me crazy. So anyways, trucking, that's a stressful fucking job, isn't it? You know what else is driving me nuts now? Is now I don't know how long the video is, because I just split it into two. I'm losing my fucking mind right now. Anyways, trucking, as we know, is a stressful job, right? And it's a very, very stressful job. And a lot of times we make it more stressful than it has to be. Me, even in my 10 years, there is one thing I have never got down with, right? A thing that I've never understood that is a major, major cause of stress for a lot of other truck drivers. And I'm going to tell you what that thing is. It's all the people squealing about the damn four-wheelers out there in the way. I don't fucking get it, if I'm being honest with you. They're out there on the road. I don't think that necessarily people in cars are doing stupid shit, honestly, not all the time. I see a lot more truckers do stupid shit than I do the damn four-wheelers, if I'm being honest with you. But that's a major stress factor for a lot of fucking truck drivers. And as we go on through this, I'll tell you sort of how I deal with that, because that one doesn't bother me too much, except I don't know what's going on with Tesla, but they are putting the world's worst drivers on the fucking road. If I ever see a Tesla in Texas, I'm gonna head for the fucking hills, because that's just a death waiting to happen right there. There is something going on with Tesla drivers out there. Are they driving the car? Is the car driving itself? Because I don't fucking get it. I had to lay on the horn today for a Tesla that was passing me, but they cut back in so close that I could hardly see the fucking car anymore. I'm like, what are you doing? So I had to light them up with the air horn, which isn't something that I really do, but I've noticed this a lot with Teslas, is that they come in really close when they move back over. Is this an autopilot thing? They need to fix that, or is this just every Tesla driver is acting like the BMW drivers used to act back in the 90s, right? Is that a thing that's going on? I'm not really fucking sure. But on a funny note, well, I think it's a funny note, I got cut off 3 times today. I went through Atlanta and then I went through Nashville. So I got cut off 3 times isn't really saying much, right? Aside from the Tesla, I got cut off 3 other times. You guys are never gonna fucking believe this. I thought I was hallucinating. I thought I was going crazy, because the 3 times that I got cut off to where I had to hit the brakes pretty hard, all 3 of them, guys, you're not gonna believe this. I wish I was making this up. All 3 of them had handicap plates on the back of their car. You know, it had a little wheelchair and everything. It was cute. It was real adorable. And you have to, you know, you look at that, the way they're driving in front of a semi-truck, and you go, well, you don't know how you got in that wheelchair in the first place? I mean, how many times do you need to be taught this lesson, you know? So they're running around out there in wheelchairs, cutting off trucks again. Next time you just might not make it. You don't get to go to a wheelchair for the second time, I don't fucking think. But that's the way my mind works. I was amused when the people with handicap plates were cutting me off today. I'm like, they didn't learn the first time now, did they? Oh boy, they're slow learners up there in that car. So anyways, sometimes you have to understand that people end up in wheelchairs because of their own stupidity. Is that what I meant to say? Is that really the direction I meant to go with this? So yeah, there was a few months ago where I said we hit a new low on the channel because I was talking about cannibalism, because I was talking about eating elderly people. Do you guys remember that? Because fuck them, they're old. They're not really pulling their weight anymore. Anyways, now we might be even worse. I just made fun of people in wheelchairs and implied that it's because they couldn't drive and they got hit by a truck, and that's how they got in the wheelchair in the first place. And then went on to say that maybe next time they won't be so lucky to just be in the wheelchair. And maybe that's really dark. Maybe there's some reality to that. I don't fucking know. I'm just here for the ride like you guys are. God damn it. Anyways, the four-wheelers, people screeching about the four-wheelers. It reminds me of that that lady on TikTok that really let me have it. Went back when I was on TikTok. I'll never do that again. Yeah, gross. She really let me have it though, because my very first TikTok got kicked off of TikTok. The video got deleted by TikTok because it was a video of someone's sex toy in the truck stop parking lot, and it was going pretty viral. I mean, that thing did like a few 100,000 views in its first 30 minutes before TikTok kicked it off there. I was never going to top that again anyways. So my second TikTok was me sitting in stopped traffic on the interstate, laughing at the goofy ass hero trucker behind me that had blocked both lanes with his truck, because that's silly. I know some people just got real offended by that. No, Josh, you're supposed to block both lanes. That's what makes traffic go faster. And me over here going, I don't understand how blocking 2 lanes makes traffic move faster, but okay, I'll continue making fun of you. And that TikTok got a lot of people really mad, because everybody wants to play the hero in their truck, or pretend they're, I don't know, the traffic police or whatever it is that they think they're doing out there. And then if you tell them, you know, you don't have to block both lanes, they find themselves very offended by that. I don't fucking know why. But anyways, there was this, I wouldn't necessarily call her a crackhead necessarily, possibly, but she made a video to educate me on driving trucks, and she was not quite classy enough for the trailer parks that I come from. In a Michigan trailer park, she's probably all right, 4 or 5 anyways, but you know, didn't quite make the cut in the Colorado trailer parks, if you know what I mean. But she was okay for Michigan. I don't know. I'm doing a whole thing today because Texans are mad at me. They're tired of me making fun of them. Prime won't come back and cry on my video, so now we got to pick on Crete and Michigan. Hey, I threw a dart at a fucking dartboard or a map or whatever, and that's where shit landed. I don't decide these things, it's just how it goes. Anyways, she decided to lecture me on why it's good to stop traffic in both lanes, and she lectured me by saying, don't you know that a quarter mile and a half a mile at a half a mile. And how you think you're gonna get that truck stop with all the four-wheelers in there if you don't know about no quarter mile nor half mile? And I clearly followed every word she said. I mean, the wise old sage, as she said these amazing things to me, only to come to find out that she'd never driven a truck in her life, and she was actually the driver of a cargo van. Leave me the fuck alone, lady. I'll handle my truck just fine. Yeah, my truck was already at a stop when I made the video. No one died, you fucking weirdo. Basically, the point of all that was fuck TikTok. But what were we talking about? How to live a stress-free life as a truck driver. That's what I'm doing right now. You know how I live a stress-free life as a truck driver? I get really annoyed with everything, and then I make videos that you guys listen to, and then I take all that stress that was on me and I put it on you. Great, right? How nice of me. How considerate of me. That's not what I do. Okay, let me try to get back to the point. The cars don't bother me. That's just part of it, right? A lot of people say that, well, they need us out there, so they need to respect us and, you know, all that stuff. The fact of the matter is, nobody respects anyone on the road, and that's just how it is. But the honest truth is, we need them out there too. Yeah, I just said something crazy. I know, I do that sometimes. I say crazy fucking things on this channel. We need those people out on the road too. Do you know why? Because that's a sign of a functioning economy. The people are out there driving their cars. They need cars. They need parts for the cars. They're probably driving to work where they make money so they can go to the store and they can spend that money or have a house built or everything that contributes to an economy, right? So if all the four-wheelers left the road, I think that means the economy just fucking crashed, and what the fuck are we hauling at that point too? It's a vicious cycle where we all need each other, and well, that's just the fucking way it works. So they don't really bother me. They're just kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, and that kind of is the way it is. The things that bother me actually have to do with trucking. Driving down the road is whatever. I'll get back to that part in a minute. I had a friend, well, I think I still have him, but everything I'm saying right now is crazy. I had a friend, can you guys believe it? This crazy old man that sits in his truck yelling at his camera all the time had a friend. And what a sweetheart person that person is for taking time out of their life to be my friend. They probably just felt sorry for me, like, that crazy fuck, he needs a friend. So I had a friend that got into trucking years ago. I think he's still out there trucking somewhere. And he drove for a company that had the trucks governed at like 62 or 60 or something like that. And he was losing his mind. He wanted to get his experience. Then he could go to a company with faster trucks, right? And at the time, I was at GP Transco. I think their trucks go about 70. And that was his goal. He wanted to go to GP Transco when he had enough experience so that he could go 70 also, right? He was tired of going 62. He wanted to get out there on the road and go 70. And he would always bring it up, Josh, what's it like to go 70? And I'm like, man, you sound like a prime driver. Those guys don't know what it's like to go 70 either. Say 76 miles per hour on the internet and watch prime drivers fucking lose their mind. Anyways, I would always tell him I don't ever run at 70. Really, I hardly ever run at 70. He says, why not? You can. I said, just because you can don't mean you should, right? Not because it's dangerous, but I have my other reasons. I'm going to tell you about it right now. Right now, I promise. I'm going to tell you about it right now. I normally run my truck about 65. Now for fuel cost, right? I pay for the damn fuel. That's important for me to maintain that cost. But even when I was a company driver that had a 70 mile per hour truck, I almost always ran my truck at 65 miles per hour. And he was always so confused by that. You can go 70. What are you doing? I said, I'm chilling, baby. I'm chilling. So I told him one day, I was doing a live stream and we were talking back and forth. He was in the comments. And I said, you know what? I think when you get over there and you get that 70 mile per hour truck, you're going to actually find out how much more stressful it is to run a truck at 70 miles per hour. He said, what? I can just get down the road. I don't have to worry about not getting the miles in the day. I can just get on down the road. I said, yeah, but right now in your 62 mile per hour truck, you know what you're doing? Here's what you should be doing. I don't know what you're actually doing. You may be doing some crazy shit. I don't know. But what you should be doing is just rolling down that right lane, right? 62 miles per hour. You got your music on, your audiobook or whatever, and everybody's just passing you by, right? And you feel so slow right now. Everybody's just passing you, and that's bothering you, right? I said, actually, though, when you get in that 70-mile-per-hour truck and you spend your day passing everyone and you're whipping in and out of lanes and this guy's going slow and you're gaining on him, but there's traffic coming up on your left and you got to hit your brakes so you can move over and merge after the traffic goes through and all that stuff. I said, every bit of that is more stressful than just letting the world just pass you by all day, every day. Not the world, you don't want to get left behind, but you know, traffic. And just letting everybody just roll on past you is the most relaxing, easy way to do trucking in the world. And when he got over there to GP Transco, he got a 70-mile-per-hour truck. It was maybe a week later, he was like, dude, you were fucking right about going 70. He's like, it's cool, like you can go 70. He said, but now, yeah, I'm looking in the mirror. Well, he was looking in the mirrors. I'm not saying he wasn't looking in the mirrors, but he's like, I'm back and forth in those mirrors all day, trying to find my brake in traffic, trying to get around this slow truck and that slow truck. And then now they're slow cars, he said. You know, they're slow cars now out there. I never ran into slow cars before, so now I'm trying not to run them over when they're going 65 on the interstate and all this stuff. He's like, I'm still going to keep going 70. But I get what you were saying. I said, okay, well, that's good enough. You understand, right? As long as you get it, that's good. So he was, I think he probably still goes 70, and he's probably stressed out all the time. Reminds me of my dad a little bit. He's off the road now, but he had a 80-mile-per-hour truck, and he would be on the phone with me and he'd just be cussing everyone out. We'd be middle of a sentence and he'd go, you stupid motherfucker, you son of a bitch, get the fuck out of my way. And you hear air horn and he's losing his shit out there, and he's like, I'm like, Dad, what's going on? He's like, well, I'm trying to get down the fucking road and these motherfuckers won't get out of my way. I said, how fast you going, Dad? 80? Fucking 80? I said, have you ever considered maybe slowing it down? 75? 70? Something like that? And he goes, no, they can fucking move. Well, okay, then you can be stressed. That's the way this works. You know, if you have to run at 80, well, then you can be stressed the fuck out. And that's just tough luck, I guess. I don't fucking know. But some of the stress is self-inflicted. So what is the point I'm trying to get to? The day before yesterday, I had a situation that was starting to stress me out. You know how I was talking about the shit rolling downhill and all that stuff? I'm not mad at my company. I still think they're pretty cool. They just kind of put me in a situation that started to piss me off until I put my foot down. Here's what happened. Let me try to make this make sense. I had a load that was a drop that I was able to drop a day early, which kind of helped them out because they had a load where I was going that was supposed to pick up yesterday from when I was getting there, right? I don't know. It was Friday, I think. Yeah, Friday, and it was the load was supposed to pick up now, who cares? Let's say the load was supposed to pick up Thursday. I was delivering my load Friday. That my original one was supposed to actually deliver Saturday, but I was able to get it there a day early, and then they assigned me that load that was supposed to pick up a day before, Thursday. Well, that load delivered Saturday morning at 8 a.m., right? Well, it's already Friday. Fuck, what do you want me to do? It was 800, 900 miles away, something like that. And I go to get the fucking thing, right? And I'm like, I think I'm already going to be late, but I go to get it. It was supposed to be preloaded. And our shipper says, hey, we're actually like running 2 days behind on this. We didn't load your trailer yet. He's like, pull into this dock, we'll live load it. Okay, cool. 3 hours later, the son of a bitch is loaded, right? And I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm stressing out. Oh shit, I gotta get this load taken. I gotta get on down the road, and I gotta knock out every mile I can today. And I'm going through all my numbers and everything. There's no way I'm gonna make it by 9 a.m. tomorrow. It's 900 miles away. It's 5 p.m. now. This just ain't gonna fucking work. And my heart's racing. I'm getting all this fucking anxiety, right? And then they finally load it, and I just pulled into a truck stop and I sent them a message. Here, there's a point to this, all right? There's a point. I said, hey, I don't have the time to this turned into a live load and then took 3 hours to load the fucking thing. I am not able to get it there Saturday. It's gonna have to be Sunday. And they responded, okay, great, thanks for letting us know. Yeah, it was that easy. It was that easy. But I'm over here flipping the fuck out, right? Like, oh God, what am I supposed to do and all this shit? And it's a thing I want to kind of get a grasp on, but I also want to continue to freak out about shit so I can continue to be a lunatic for my YouTube videos. It's a business decision, right? It's a business decision. But there has to be a point in trucking. This is the biggest way to be stress-free in trucking. Realize when it's not your fucking fault and when it's not your fucking problem, right? Why was it, who the fuck's the load planner around here? Now, like I said, I'm not mad at my company, but that's the point, right? So you're telling me you didn't have a truck there to pick the fucking thing up yesterday. You had no idea it had to be live loaded because there's a breakdown in communication somewhere. And now I got the son of a bitch a day and a half late at this point. Fucking, it's a goddamn shit show. And I'm freaking out about how it's supposed to get there on time. It's not getting there on time, and that's the fucking point. It doesn't have to get there on time. If you didn't cause the fucking problem, what are you goddamn stressed out about? And that, like I said, it's something I wish I would get better at, but also for the sake of flying off the fucking handle on YouTube, I hope I don't get better. Does that make sense? I'm gonna die young, my friends. I'm gonna have a heart attack right here in the truck because I won't chill the fuck out. You guys have warned me. It's not like I don't know these things. Like just a couple weeks ago, you guys were diagnosing me with having a stroke in my truck because I got a headache. I don't know. I might have had a stroke. I think I just had a headache. I don't fucking know. But the point is, this is advice for you, not for me. I'm gonna keep being crazy. You have to realize when things are just beyond your control. There's not a fucking thing you can do about it, and being stressed out about it and freaking out about it doesn't change a goddamn thing in the world. It doesn't do anything, except all it does is get you out on the road acting like a jackass, like I was doing in Dallas a couple weeks ago because they didn't have a fucking empty trailer where they sent me to drop at a fucking what was supposed to be a dropping hook. So they're like, oh, we got a trailer in Fort Worth. Fort Worth? I'm in Dallas and it's 4 p.m. This is going to take the rest of my life to get there. I will die of old age before I make it to Fort Worth from fucking Dallas at 4 p.m. Are you shitting me? And I'm on the interstate trying to race everyone, bobtail, you know, I'm fucking got my little race car out at that point, and fucking about 10 minutes into it, I'm like, what am I doing? This isn't going to fix a goddamn thing. This whole thing just, everything's late now. Oh well. Oh well. And you know what, after I made the video freaking out with you guys where I'm like, oh, my head was hurting so bad when I made that video and you guys said I had a stroke, it turns out after I recorded the video where I was all angry, I sent a message that said, hey, there's no way I'm making it there on time for the pickup. And they responded, oh yeah, that's fine, they're open till 10 p.m. Oh, and then we got loaded and it was no big deal. For me, it's advantageous for me to not think these things through. I know this all sounds stupid. For me to get mad first and then ask questions later because I'm going to turn on the camera and record the shit. But in reality, I understand that if all of us realize there's just things beyond our control, then we'd probably chill the fuck out a lot. And all of us would probably stop dying young in our sleepers. What do you think of all that? That's quite the fucking message, isn't it? Anyways, dispatch wanted me to get to the yard today to get the grease job done on my truck, and the yard's 3 hours and 10 minutes away, and I have 3 hours on my clock. At first, I started freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck do they want me to do? And then I calmly, like an adult, I sent a message that said, I don't have the hours to do it today. I can swing by in the morning if you want. And they haven't responded, but I'll just swing by in the morning. Fuck it. Bye now.